found a way that was wrong. Today we're going to explore 3 different ways of cooking packaged instant ramen, each more complicated than the next, to find out what is the correct way of cooking instant ramen. We're going to judge each cooking method by 3 categories. 1. Taste. Does the cooking method actually make the ramen taste better? 2. Time. How long does the cooking method take? 3. Effort. Because if it takes too long, is it really instant ramen? At the end of this video, you will find out which cooking method is the best. Let's go! Wow, I gotta say, the first cooking method took way longer than I thought because it should be simple, right? Just boil water, put the noodle in a bowl, and put water in. Nothing much, and yet it's already 12 minutes. Close to 13 actually. So maybe the laziest way isn't the fastest way? We'll see. I don't know what I was expecting, but it turned out to be a regular bowl of instant ramen, so that's how it tastes. Wow, it's still as bland as I last tasted it in a package form. I don't know why, but the smaller form factor tastes so much better. The soup is just so much richer, whereas this one just tastes watery. So what can I say? Time-wise, it's not the best. It took 15 minutes, close to 15 minutes, and that's not how long I want to spend on a bowl of instant ramen. Taste-wise, it's also not the best. If we take the cup ramen as a basis, as 5 out of 5, this would be 2 out of 5, and it's not good. Effort-wise though, I would give it 5 out of 5 because I didn't really need to do any cooking. All I did was pull some package open, boil the water, I get to play some games, mess around, and then I come back to enjoy food. So, Now, let's try our second way of cooking shin ramen. Cooking it in a pot. What? What? You want to tell me that cooking noodle in a pot actually takes around the same time as cooking noodle with a kettle? What? Well, if you think about it, that kind of makes sense, since technically you're just doing the same. You're still taking the package apart, you're still putting spices in, and you're still boiling water. And you're still using one pot or bowl. So, it kind of makes sense that it takes the same amount of effort. Kind of. I don't know. There's something about putting something on a stove that mentally makes me feel like I put more effort into it. Last time I actually saw something interesting. Someone argued that the reason why you should boil it in a pot is because they're designed to. You see, the argument is that the company kind of assumes that you're going to boil it in a pot since you're buying it in packaged form. I don't vibe with that argument. I think the only assumptions a company should make when you buy in packaged form is that you're a cheapo. Oh my god. Wait a minute. Okay, hear me out. I might sound crazy right now, but the soup doesn't taste any different. The noodles do. Yeah, the noodles taste different. Every strand of noodle that was cooked on the stove changed its color. I'm not sure if you can see it well or not, but the textures changed. Gone are those dry chip textures that makes it taste like instant ramen, and now it's becoming bouncy, chewy. Let's talk about the soup. Yeah. Maybe it's because I put packaged flavoring last. The soup still tastes kind of bland and kind of watery. So what would I say? Time-wise, it's only 1 minute, actually less than 1 minute extra. Taste-wise, I would give it a 4 out of 5. The noodle is just so good. And last time I mentioned, the Boishin ramen actually has a different noodle texture. That is completely different to this as well. So this is unique. You gotta try boiling it in a pot. So yeah, comment section, maybe you're onto something. And now it's for the third cooking method. At this point you might be wondering, what can the third method possibly be? Because we already boiled it in a pot, how can you be even more extra? Well, here's the thing. I joined Any Music, surprise surprise, and while we were having a conversation, someone brought up this point. If you're going to boil the noodles and the soup in the same pot, doesn't the soup get too starchy? And I get her point. So we asked how she cooks her instant ramen, and it turns out that she cooks her noodles and soup separately. Yeah, we're gonna test out that. Let's get started. Oh yeah, if you hear random noises, that's my dad building a gazebo in the back. Yeah. He actually shipped the gazebo from China, so it's a dedication. No, I'm not opening the cabinet for you this time, kitty. That took 32 minutes. Boiling water twice takes twice the amount of time, so makes sense that it's 30 minutes. Now, as I said previously, my friend in Any Music told me that the soup tastes starchy if you keep the water that you boil the noodles with. So I'm curious if that's true or not. Let's find out. Yeah, she's right. Okay, so if you really taste hard, like you have them side by side, yes, you can definitely tell that there's a tiny hint of starch flavor in that soup. Whereas this one just tastes like ramen soup. The noodles, like I said before, since they are boiled through, they're more bouncy. The soup, I don't really taste the difference. I think the soup tastes equally as good as the last one. Maybe it's a tiny bit more flavorful. Maybe it's a tiny bit more flavorful if I put the packaged contents in first. But I think we could easily achieve the same results with the last cooking method. Just dump everything together. One thing that I did find surprising though was how fast the water boiled when I put the packaged contents in. It boiled at least twice as fast. So what I suggest the best cooking method for instant ramen would be cooking in a pot and putting in the packaged contents first. So how would I rate this? Well, on taste wise, I think it's equal to the last one, so I'll give it a 4 out of 5. On time-wise, it did horrendous. It took 30 minutes, so I'll give 1 out of 5. It's not instant noodle anymore at this point. Effort-wise, I will give it 3 out of 5. Dumping the water again, boiling. It's double the amount of work, but originally there's not much work to begin with, so I'm good with it. Overall, I think this is my least favorite cooking method, just because it took so long, and it doesn't feel like instant noodles anymore. However, it did make me feel like a professional noodle chef, so not bad. Overall, what's the best cooking method, you might ask? I say number 2, boiling a pot, but also putting the contents first. Because putting in the contents first will make the water boil a lot faster, so you would even save more time, even faster than the kettle. I think the number 1 improvement with boiling the noodles is that the noodles taste different. Unlike just pouring hot water in, the noodle still has that cheap instant ramen flavor taste, whereas boiling them make them taste like good noodle. So yeah, you guys were right. They are meant to boil in a pot. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Peace. What am I supposed to do with all these instant noodles? Oh my god. Well, mukbang video, I guess?